Hi, my name is Karis Walker. An excursion to us is like where we find and help people in our own ways instead of just doing one thing over and over again.
My name is Brandon, and this is our 6th excursion. The 3 parts of an excursion are vacation, exploration, and mission trip.
My name is Jordan Walker, and I'm from Steamboat Springs. This is my 6th excursion.
My name is Audrey Walker, and our family takes an excursion each year. We've been doing it for 6 years. An excursion for us is part vacation, part exploration, and part mission work.
My name is Carl. The idea for an excursion began kind of out of a couple of complaints that I had about mission trips that I had seen. The first one being was that mission work tended to happen in singularity. You know, we went to do mission work, but while you were doing mission work, you might not go to the beach and have fun, or you might not go explore a cave. You're there to do mission work. And I thought that kind of odd because I see my life as one big mission. And that's intermixed with fun. That's intermixed with exploring and learning and helping people. So the idea for the excursion started with this complaint that I had that we had to separate vacation, and we had to separate education, and we had to separate mission trip. And I thought, well, that seems silly to me. Why can't we do all of that at the same time?
It's a lot more than just helping people. It's like vacation, but there's also a mission to accomplish, and there's exploration.
On our very first excursion, we went to Montana.
I was about 5, I think, and then we went to Montana and helped the Blackfeet Indians.
So we went to Kalispell, Montana, and we helped out with the Blackfeet Indians, and we got to meet a lot of kids, and we built a bridge. I remember we played apples to apples with some of the counselors, I think, and then we also bought a whole bunch of crayons and books and Legos for the kids there. And
so the first time we drove out on this kind of a trip, we ended up having planned it, but not really knowing what to expect. And by the middle of our trip, we were definitely open to whatever was in our path. By the end of the trip, we were just so excited for the next trip that we're already starting to plan it.
We get to stay with families that we know or don't know, and we get to do fun things like rock wall climbing and swimming with friends. We also get to go on hikes sometimes.
My second complaint came out of this idea, especially for youth missions, that when a youth group or teenagers went on a mission, they generally did it during the summer, of course, because they're not in school, which makes sense, but generally speaking, their parents don't go with them. Now, what this kind of insinuates or teaches by example is that, you know, when you're young and you're 15 or 16 and you don't have anything else to do during the summer, well, you should go do mission work. You should go help people. And then when you're older and you have a real job, well, then you don't have to do this stuff. So we really thought as a couple that if we were going to demonstrate mission work for our kids, then we should be the ones going.
One of the things that I like most about the excursion is our family time. We get to not only explore, but we also get to serve together. I think we grow together as a family, and we're able to outreach to a lot of different people, all races, all ages. It just doesn't matter, and being able to help everybody on our path is just one of the things that God has called us to do, and it's just a fantastic time to spend that as a family.
On our second excursion, we went to South Dakota and helped out at a church with a funeral.
We are going to help paint a house, but then we helped at a funeral, and we also went and saw the heads of the 4 presidents, Mount Rushmore.
Third excursion, we went to Atlanta and helped out Church on the Street.
We flew to Atlanta, Georgia, and helped at a church, and there we got to help people on the side of the road that had no home to sleep in or food to eat, really, unless they just held out their hands, sat down until people gave them money so they could buy food.
Church on the Street is where homeless people are allowed to come and learn about Jesus and God, and they are served free breakfast and free lunch, but they don't serve dinner. And every weekend they go to the park, and they hand out cookies and flavored shaved ice, and they play chess and throw frisbees.
I was able to go around with one of the ladies and actually look for some of the people who are on the street that she had connected with. We never found those 3 ladies, but she was intentional. She was really out there trying to connect with some homeless ladies. I definitely saw and was impacted by the amount of people who want to help the homeless, but they really don't understand what it means to be homeless and how to help them.
My third major concern for mission work was the fact that a lot of people go on mission trips, but other people actually plan the mission trips, which doesn't do a very good job of teaching anyone to go out and do it on their own. So from the beginning, from the first time we did this, even when my youngest daughter was only 5 years old, they became an integral part of the planning process. Now, we decided initially on where to go, but once we decided that, the kids became instrumental in planning out the entire trip and executing the entire trip. And now, 6 years into it, they actually help decide where we're going to go and who we're going to help.
So we plan an excursion on our own by just asking God where we should go, what we should do, who can we help, and we come up with ideas. On our first excursion and our second and third excursion, we would sit down at a table and we'd put a piece of paper out and we'd come up ideas for our shirts, for who we were going to help. We wrote down time and what days we were going to be gone.
For our trips, we earn mission money, and with that mission money, we can spend half of it on ourselves and half of it on other people. And we just earn it by working in the yard or stuff.
For instance, when we went to Montana, we spent half of our mission money on part of our mission money on toys and crayons and coloring books. In our second excursion, Brandon spent his mission money to fill up a gas tank.
It's been really great because it's allowed us to open up a conversation with our kids to say, you have funds available to help someone. Now you just have to be observant in seeing who needs that help. And that's been really, really great for them to see. And of course, as we move along, we transfer that from funds to what we have personally that we can offer, not just in the form of money, but in the form of assistance through a kind word or a kind act or something else that we could do.
This year I've raised $250 of mission money, so I'm probably going to use most of it on helping people and not just for myself.
First year, they're definitely kind of hiding behind us as parents, but as the years have gone by, they're definitely more forward in speaking with people who they don't know. They're able to look for opportunities to help people.
Some of the things I've used my mission money for is buying a weed eater for a church, filling up gas, and buying groceries.
We've traveled all over the U.S., and this year we happen to be starting in Denver, heading to Oklahoma, going up to Ohio, going through Michigan, over to Canada, and back down.
This year is kind of different because we're not we didn't have anything planned until very, very late, and so it was very different from all the other excursions where we had everything pretty planned out.
In the past, we've gone to help specific groups of people, whether they be homeless people or churches or small towns or whatever. This year is focused about the family that we know and love. And not just direct family, but friends. Friends in my past from the Army, friends that we've helped along the way, cousins, aunts, and uncles. We're going to go around and visit and do special things with each one of these families to build that connection. And that's one of the cool parts about an excursion is the scope of an excursion can be as broad or as narrow as you want it to be.
Then we get to meet a lot of cool people. It's not about us, it's about other people.
Something I've liked about our excursions are going to water parks, helping people along the side of the road.
We get to do lots of things by helping people, because then we don't really need more stuff. We just need thanks, and we like helping people.
Michigan, Idaho. No, not Idaho.
Where in Montana? Sorry.
What are the...
Or just anywhere. No, we don't steal it.
My name is Brandon.
Hi there. Hi. I'm Baba.
That's not what I want to say.
On our very first excursion, we went to Oklahoma. Not Oklahoma.
I hope you cut this out, right?
Don't do that. You're having me laugh.
I can't look at the camera. I don't know why. I'm not very good at looking at the camera.
I don't know what else to say.
Oh, you gotta get your ball!
My name is Jordan Walker / Chewbacca.
Yeah, and you're recording? Don't record. My people, my father's final words were...
Love her as I loved her.
And there will be
Joy!
Skip to the end.
So a lot of folks have asked our family about these excursions and how we do them and have expressed a desire to do maybe something similar on their own. My advice is always this. The idea of an excursion is not necessarily a great idea. It's a good idea. God makes it great. We just had a good idea and we went with it. The reason why I think God honored that and makes them really, really great for our family is because we own it as a family. It's not somebody else's idea that we're like, oh, well, maybe we'll give this a try. And if you're thinking about that, don't do it unless you're ready to own it. This needs to be something you really, really want to do, and you have a really strong desire to do, and you want to make it work. Because if you just go out there and give it a shot, chances are it will remain kind of a good idea, and it may or may not work. So if you want to try something like this, my best advice is own it.